Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's my guy knows a guy. NBA betting today on the SportX Insights YouTube channel. Did not do a live stream yesterday. It was not the best slate. I did tweet out a pick, Cam Johnson over 2.5 threes. I also sprinkled that over 3.5. I'm sure a lot of people did. It was plus 180. But make sure you're following us on Twitter at my guy knows a guy, SportX at SportX Project at NBA betting today, just in case we're not able to get some of the content out on time. You can always get some picks on Twitter as well. Good morning to everyone. Hope you guys are enjoying the NBA season so far. We're just past the halfway point. There's a lot going on. This guy James Harden wants out. Hopefully you guys can hear what I was saying. Was actually just setting up. So we're going to get to the NBA picks today. We have 9 games today. It's a very interesting slate. I did take a look at it. There won't be as many picks as Sunday. Some days are higher volume than other days. Just want to say good morning to everyone in the chat as well. D-Rob, I see you, Tierra, Chris, us, Gooners, TV. What's going on, dog? D-Rob's, S. Dot, my bro, Akbar, Sam, my bro. Hey, good morning, J Money. What's up, bro? How's it going? Can't wait to see the thoughts, bro. Can't wait to hear your thoughts. Yeah, Simeon, Frank, it's a fun time, everyone, but just like my dog Jay always says, never too high, never too low. Got to attack the schedule every day. I did have some looks last night, but the market that I wanted for a particular player, it wasn't out. So apologies to anyone that was expecting the early video, but I'll try to drop an early video when the market is available. Don't want to force anything, but I think that will be most days. It's just that the last, yesterday, they didn't have it for Cam Johnson. It's like they knew Cam Johnson was going to snap. They didn't give us the prop until the afternoon, but maybe I can make a video then as well. I just want to share my thoughts. I'm going to pull up the odds as well on sportx.bet. Take a second to visit sportx.bet. The link will be in the description after the video. If you want to sign up, hit the link. Going to give out some free bets as well. So check out the platform, Crypto Sportsbook, owned by its community. But for 100%, it's time to get to the schedule, get to the slate. And I do have some picks to share. As always, hit the like button, and yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say. I'm actually, you guys can hear, I'm just not the highest energy today, but we're getting there. We're getting there, 100%. Let me pull up the odds, and then we'll breeze through the schedule, and I'll give you guys some bets as well. I have, I'd say, 3 bets that I'm pretty confident in, and then a couple of smaller bets. So it's just going to be one of those days. Hell yeah. Sorry for the delay. 1 second. I'm just pulling up the odds. Have my notes as well. What do you guys think about Bismack Biyombo? Bro, he's looking like Toronto Biyombo right now. If the Suns get this version of Bismack Biyombo in the playoffs as a third center, don't get me started. All right, here are the odds. It's a lot of line movement today. All right, hopefully you guys can see that. Yep. All right, let's get started. So we have the LA Clippers on the road at the Washington Wizards. This is a game that, when it comes to the outcome of the game, I'm not really going to participate in the spread or the total in this game. When you look at these two teams, the Washington Wizards right now, I'm not going to say they're desperate for a win, but they're definitely trending in the wrong direction. As we said, maybe, I forgot what game that was, but it was last week, the Washington Wizards have regressed, I'd say, heavily after their hot start. There were some crazy articles being written about the Wizards after the first 2 weeks of the season. It was fool's gold. Now you're seeing them regress to maybe 4.5 point favorites right here against a Clippers team that's still, still a bit undermanned. But the Clippers team is very, very scrappy. They're very, very unpredictable. I think the point spread in this game is a bit risky, although I would still lean towards the Wizards because of desperation. But the same case can be made for the Clippers, in my opinion, because, they're only, half a game behind the Lakers in the standings. Don't look, even with the Clippers' problems on their roster this season without Paul George, they're still currently in a play-in spot. They are a very, very strange team, but the Wizards have the pieces to cover the spread. For me, there is a prop that I have listed in this game. I didn't bet it yet. I may just sprinkle it towards the end of the show because it's juiced and it's actually gone above -150. So I don't want to just share too many of those, but I do like Marcus Morris Sr. over 1.5 threes. It was -140 when I looked at it. It's -150 something now. Maybe you guys are looking for extra plays, but that's honestly, and then Nicholas Batum, his assists are also streaking, but I just want to say that I did not bet those just yet. Over 2.5 assists for Nicholas Batum, plus 145. He's had 3 assists 3 games in a row since he's come back from injury. He's, you guys know his style of play. He's more of a Swiss Army knife. He's a player that can distribute, but it's a streak that I've chosen not to ride just yet, but I'm just sharing what I had listed in that game. So I'm just trying to also be better about differentiating the plays that I have money on and the ones that I don't have money on, and sharing my thoughts in this game. Bradley Beal, he's continued distributing the ball at a very, very efficient clip ever since he was on that tear where he was hitting double-digit assists. He's dipped a bit since Spencer Dinwiddie's come back into the lineup, but Bradley Beal, his distribution has been a moneymaker. When it comes to this game on the spread, like I said, this could be a live betting game. The Clippers are a very strange live betting team for this game, but like I said, I lean towards the Wizards in this game. Not going to spend too much time on that one. The Pistons and the Nuggets. All right. We know the Pistons the other night, they competed against the Nuggets. A couple other guys on the bench did not play that night. It looks like they're going to activate a couple of their guys. The Nuggets today, there's going to be more depth for them. I like the Nuggets today to cover in the second matchup against the Pistons. Their defense has been pretty leaky, but health and depth has been a major issue for the Nuggets. They have not been a team that I have been able to trust on the point spread very many times this month. I like to go back to a game where I had the Nuggets against the Hornets, and they were up really, really big. I actually shot the J Money in the chat. I know you guys remember that game vividly. The Nuggets are a team that they just don't seem to be able to play 4 dominant quarters. Okay, not many teams are able to string together 4 dominant quarters, but I think the Nuggets are a team that really has been afflicted by this. They have not been able to put 2 halves together. But against the Pistons team that I feel has been playing unsustainable as of late. You look at their run recently. They're just not motivated to win these sorts of games. In my opinion, I think a lot of the damage is done in terms of the tank race. The Pistons have done a lot to solidify a top 3 pick already, along with the Orlando Magic. But I just don't see them competing against the Nuggets the way they did the other night with a couple. I think they're going to activate Marcus Howard, a couple of other players. I'll pull it up right now. But instead of the point spread, everyone, there are 2 plays in this game that I pinpointed. It's crazy. Did it just drop? Wow, it dropped to 216. I bet under in this game. You might want to jump on it if you're following. I bet the under in the Nuggets-Pistons game, and I bet a full unit on it as well at 217. It was actually 219 when it opened last night. I just think with the added depth that the Nuggets are projected to return tonight, they went over 6 straight times at the crib. The defense was pretty leaky. They had a couple of surprising losses, ATS. I think that'll change on the road. We're seeing a slower pace for the Nuggets on the road as well. Haven't played too many totals publicly recently, but this is one that I feel pretty strongly about. I still like it at 216. I definitely lost value on the line here, but I like the under between the Pistons and the Nuggets. The prop that I like in this game is Nikola Jokic over. I bet this as well. Nikola Jokic over 12.5 rebounds. Nikola Jokic over 12.5 rebounds. More effort, concerted effort on the glass from the entire team tonight. Better defense from the Nuggets, a concerted effort rebounding the ball, team rebounding tonight against the Nuggets. That's what I'm seeing. And yeah, not the best matchup on the board. There are other matchups today, but those are 2 bets that I've already made. The under in the Nuggets-Pistons game and the over 12.5 rebounds for Nikola Jokic. Hey, shout out to David. Shout out to David in the chat, all the way from India. Appreciate you guys watching, and I appreciate all the support as well. We're not going to win every day, but these are good times. Just know that even during the bad times, we're going to try to learn as much as we can. We're going to try to win as much money as possible. Shout out to David. I feel you, bro. I feel you. The Nuggets are just, to be honest, the point spread is a system play, but because of what I said, it's hard to trust them, bro. It's hard to trust them. I'm more comfortable just betting on the slower pace in this one, and maybe get better rebounding output from Jokic. But the Pistons as well. It's I don't know. I like the Nuggets to cover as well, but it's really, really tough. It's really tough here. I'll move on. I spent a bit more time on this game because there are two bets that I really like in this one, the Nuggets and the Pistons game. I will be watching it. It's an arms race, everyone. It's an arms race when it comes to those play-in spots, the playoff spots in the West and in the East. No one wants to be in the play-in tournament. We should see some teams kick it into higher gear, but the Nuggets, I don't know. We'll see. We'll move on to the next game, which is the Philadelphia 76ers and the New Orleans Pelicans. All right, there's a play that I like in this game, depending on where the line is going to be set, and it's going to be Devontae Graham under three-pointers made. They just didn't have the market available. It's also another pick that I had listed for tonight, and I don't think it's listed right now. Maybe someone in the chat can help me. Did they put up any props for the Pelicans? Because I have Devontae Graham of the Pelicans to go under his three-point prop, but I want to see if they put it at 3.5 or 2.5. It's the second night of a back-to-back, time zone shift. He's been really, really hot. I'm going to fade Devontae Graham's threes tonight when the market is available, but pending odds. So I'll share if I actually do it. Another thing that I like in this game, but I did not bet, is Tobias Harris's rebounds total under 6.5 rebounds, plus 130. Plus 130. Now, they did officially rule Seth Curry out. The other day I said Tyrese Maxey would go over his assists. It was only 3.5. I mean, who else is going to assist the ball if Seth Curry is out? He ended up with 6 assists. That was a lean that I did not actually play. But, Tyrese Maxey, now it's up to 4.5 assists. Seth Curry's out. He is streaking. I just think that it's one of those props that he might hit by force, because who else is going to be distributing the ball for the Sixers today unless they just shit the bed? Tyrese Maxey over 4.5 assists. It's a play that I did not bet. Once again, I'm getting better at sharing the plays that I have money on and the ones that I don't have money on. But, with the way that he's streaking and facilitating the ball without Seth Curry in the lineup, I mean, it's a pretty simple game plan, right? Joel Embiid has gone over, I think, 13 out of the last 15 games, everyone. It's a simple game plan, a simple recipe. Dump the ball to Joel Embiid and get out the way. You guys see the way he's playing right now? It's not a game. It's not a game. Joel Embiid, I feel bad for him. I feel bad that he doesn't have help. I feel bad that Embiid doesn't have help, bro. Even though he's a rival for the Raptors, I'm a Raptors fan, I feel bad. Hell yeah. Big time hit. Texas Tech, bro. Great call. Yo, they won outright too. That's crazy. Sharp. I think I'm going to have a couple of first half bets today in college basketball. I'll share them on Twitter if I make them, but just like to see let's keep it rolling, bro. Chris said I took Maxey's assist last night. I think I missed out. It's minus 140, minus 145. Appreciate you, Anthony. I haven't really played any Korkmaz assists. I kind of have a basket of players that I'm familiar with, and then I rotate the players. You can't really bet all the players. There's some players that I just tried. Like at the beginning of the season, man, I kid you not. If you guys remember, I bet one prop on Spencer Dinwiddie. One at the beginning of the season, and I said I'll never bet a Spencer Dinwiddie prop ever again, unless it's an under. The Pelicans rolled yesterday, yeah. It got a little sweaty at the end of the game, but they made the right plays, and it comes down to free throw shooting. The Pacers did not have the depth to hang for 4 quarters. They played 3 quarters. They lost. Texas Tech? Hell yeah. I faded Texas Tech on Saturday. I took West Virginia first half. That was all right, but I may have gotten fortunate because they got destroyed in the second half. Texas Tech, they want it. They might not win the entire conference, but they want it. Back to the NBA, everyone. I'm rambling now. But yeah, I would look maybe towards Devontae Graham cooling off against better defenders. You never know who he's going to go up against on the perimeter, but Tobias Harris, even Tyrese Maxey is a pretty good defensive player on the perimeter. Thibault is still out. That is a concern, but I think Devontae Graham, they may put together a little game plan for him today. Now, getting to this Raptors Hornets game. Getting to the Raptors-Hornets game, This is a very interesting game as well. Two teams coming off of losses, pretty bad losses as well. The Raptors made it a game towards the end against the Blazers, but they shit the bed pretty bad. The Hornets shit the bed really, really bad. But that's something we anticipated with the Hawks the other day. We made some money off the Hawks on the road. The Hornets in this game, when I tried to zoom in and see why they were playing, I'd say worse recently. Offensively, one couple of guys in out of the lineup. We know that's an issue for most teams in the NBA. But three-point shooting. The last game, the team shot, I believe, 23% from three. Kelly Oubre in particular, I think he went like 1 for 11 or something, 1 for 9. Kelly Oubre has cooled off. He has personally admitted that he needs to get back to the form that he had, giving the team an offensive spark from before he caught COVID. I read something on that last night. It's a player that we may not necessarily be thinking of, but Kelly Oubre means a lot to this team, and the offensive punch that he was providing before he got sick. In this game, though, if between the two teams that have to bounce back, I have to choose the Raptors. I have to choose the Raptors because of the way the starting five has played when whole. Gary Trent was in, out of the lineup. The last game, first game home, I just don't think the Hornets are going to be able to hang with them for 4 quarters in this game. I know Gordon Hayward is still questionable, but the only good thing I can say about the Hornets in this particular game is that I do think they will play better offensively, which probably projects better for the over. But the starting five of the Raptors, they have a body of work now that I trust more than the way the Hornets have been playing, particularly in that game against the Hawks. Now, they're an extremely streaky three-point shooting team, the Hornets. If they punch first, the Raptors have to get out ahead of these guys early in this game. The Hornets are going to emphasize the same thing. There are conflicting dynamics in this game. I'm going to end up playing a smaller bet on the Raptors, -3.5 here. Another play I like in this game, it's actually funny though, I didn't play the Raptors yet. It's 3.5, right? Yeah, we're probably going to add that before the end of the show. But there's a play that I did bet in this game, and it goes against the Raptors pick. So it's very strange to have an under for a player in the same game that you are picking that team. But I like Pascal Siakam under 24.5 points in this game, and I've already bet that. I believe this is a case where it's been over-adjusted, and I think Siakam still has a chance to have a great offensive performance overall today, distributing the ball, helping other players get better, and I think he's going to contribute to a Raptors win today. But I like the Raptors. I like Siakam's points total under 24.5, partially because I think it's a Fred VanVleet night. I think it's time for Fred VanVleet today. He's in a mini slump offensively. They dropped a couple of results that they wanted against the Blazers and the Mavericks. The Mavs game, the Raptors were competing in that game, and it's a very simple recipe. When Fred VanVleet explodes, the Raptors cover. The Raptors cover. So I think that those two things are correlated today, and I like Fred VanVleet to have a bounce-back game against the Hornets. I think his over 22.5 points are in play, and I would like to run that back from the other day. I did not place a bet on that just yet, though. I lost with that the other day, the over 22.5 against the Blazers, and he had a really, really bad start to the game, but he picked it up late. The entire team picked it up late. We saw that against the Pistons as well, that one game a week and a half ago for the Raptors. They played 3 really, really bad quarters, okay? 3 really bad quarters. They turned it on in the fourth quarter against the Pistons after they were down by almost 20 points. Made it a game. Cut it to like 5 or 6 points, okay? They lost the game. The sour taste in their mouth carried over to the next night. And what happened? They beat the Milwaukee Bucks head up, straight up on the road. I think a similar dynamic is in play today. There's no travel, but let's see how it goes. But the Hornets, though, are also coming off of a bad loss. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Hey, we the North, bro. That's the play, bro. Let's go. Let's go. I think the Raptors, though, they match up well. They have a distinct advantage in the paint as well. when you look at the way Chris Boucher has elevated his game, Chris Boucher had a terrible start to the season. He's a player that I'm very high on going back to last season. He had a really bad start to the season. The depth that he's providing the Raptors off the bench now, and he's found his three-point shot recently as well. Let's see how this one goes, everyone. Let's see how this one goes. I like the Raptors. Still no fans in the arena. But the Raptors offense has played lights out besides the Blazers game at the crib. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Let's move on. Nets Lakers. Anthony Davis is back, everyone. I think injured star, the big major injured star is coming back. My bad, I'm rambling. In this particular game, I wanted to take the Lakers. These guys are in shambles. The Nets are in shambles. There's a lot going on with these guys. Let me just pull this up. Yeah, if you guys see this scene, if you guys are to believe, this is from Jake Fisher, Bleacher Report. I've read a couple of his articles before. Don't really think he's dishonest or one of those clout chasers. I'm not really sure exactly, but they're saying James Harden might be trying to get out of Brooklyn this summer. I know there's been rumors about that before, but for this to come out before they even make a title run is crazy to me. It's crazy. But for tonight's game, we know the Nets are absolutely terrible at home. The Lakers have been getting beat pretty badly as of late. ATS over the course of the entire season. I'm going to stay away from this game. I would like to take the Lakers. I'm just going to say that I would like to take the Lakers. It's similar dynamic to the Raptors. They really made that a game. We had the Miami Heat. Shout out to everyone that rode that Miami Heat bet on Sunday, but it got really, really scary at the end of the game. The Lakers turned it on offensively, and they were just hitting shot after shot after shot. They do have a mode. We've seen flashes. The problem with the Lakers, we know the problem. One, inconsistency in terms of the continuity of their lineups, and two, they can't play four quarters. 100%, Jay. Lakers are nothing. There's just too much going against these guys. The Nets, this guy's extremely unprofessional, man. James Harden, extremely unprofessional guy. Keep it real, though. Keep it real, everyone. They shouldn't have traded Jared Allen for this guy. Imagine they had Jared Allen, Kyrie, and KD right now. And LeVert. Extremely unprofessional athlete, James Harden. If this stuff is true, let's see. There's still a lot of time in the season, but Anthony Davis is back. Let's see how he looks in terms of rust. I did read last night, though, that Anthony Davis has worked on his shooting mechanics, and he's going to be emphasizing shooting the ball and stretching the floor even more. I know some Laker fans may not want to hear that, but you may want to wait before you criticize it. Maybe it's a go. Maybe AD has found his shot. Let's see. Maybe he'll go limited minutes tonight. He did have a scary injury, but let's see how it goes. Not too much on this game. I just wanted to share that report. It's Lakers. I'm either going to pick the Lakers. I'm not taking the Nets. That's all I have to say. I don't like seeing shit like that. The Boston Celtics against the Sacramento Kings. The Celtics are minus 8.5. The total is 220.5. Okay, the Celtics are a team that, they put together a very, very positive win against the Wizards on the road. They are a team. Let me just pull up the injury report 1 second for this game. I don't want to say the wrong thing because I do have a play listed for this game. Yeah. So the game against the Wizards, shout out to everyone that rode. We did cash in with the Celtics on the weekend, minus 1.5, and we had Jason Tatum's three-pointers to go over. He exploded. I did not think he would score, 51 points, but I did project him to have a much better performance. For some players, it's all in the head. They made a key change in that game, everyone. They didn't let Enes Kanter, they didn't let him play. He's horrible on defense. Terrible. They went with a two big lineup. Horford, Robert Williams, it paid dividends. Much better defensive effort from the team. Much better defensive rating for the team against the Wizards in a desperation spot. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that over the long run of the season. They may need to get one more player for that bench. If they can get a defensive-minded big for the bench, like a Biyombo-type player, the Celtics will actually turn their season around. I kid you not. The Hornets, Al Horford, though, the reason I said that is because can he play 35 minutes every single night? But hey, Al Horford and Robert Williams have a distinct matchup edge tonight against the Sacramento Kings. They covered against the Milwaukee Bucks. They're rested for a couple of days, but I just want to see if the Celtics can string together a good run of play. I said that about the Knicks last night on Twitter. I want to see if the Celtics can put together a good string of performances after the adjustment they made, shortening their rotation and not letting Cantor play. I want to see if they can cover. But in this game, I like Al Horford over 3.5 assists plus 105. That's a bet I'm making. Al Horford over 3.5 assists plus 105. Not too much else on that game. I do project Jaylen Brown to have a better offensive performance, and I do lean towards the over, but I did not play it. I've said this a lot of times in the role of favorite at home about the Celtics, that they lose these sorts of games outright that they're not supposed to. The Kings are a very, very strange team. I would wait before we back the Celtics, but I do believe that like a couple of other teams like the Hawks, the T-Wolves, a couple of other teams that have a decent roster that had bad luck with health but that are trending upwards, I do think the Celtics are next to flip the switch. The Celtics and the Jazz. The Celtics and the Jazz they're going to turn the corner probably maybe at the beginning of February, sometime after Donovan Mitchell comes back for the Jazz. And the Celtics, they just have too many good players. I can't stand him either, Jay. James Harden, there was a time when I respected him, though. I will say that. In terms of like just being a professional, there was a time, but then it seems like every year, less and less, right? Harden's soft, Brandon said. The Celtics are bad for your bankroll if you take them over and over again. They're a situational team. You have to wait for, like the other game. They didn't tell us that until after the game. The other game, I kid you not, you can go look it up. Marcus Smart gave the team a rally pep talk, like a rally before the team. Like he motivated the entire team, gave them a speech before the game. Like it's some crazy shit. Like some stuff you don't hear until after the game. My dog. Parlay Poppy in the house, bro. Yeah, the Suns, I don't know what that was last night. Yeah, the Celtics is all in the head. It's all in the head. They hated each other, then they didn't hate each other, then, the coach, Marcus Smart COVID for everybody, injuries. It's a team that they project very well just because they stayed afloat with everything that went wrong with the Celtics. They still sort of stayed afloat, I think we're going to be able to get some money off these guys. Okay, moving on. Let me get this James Harden thing off the screen. I forgot it was on. And then we'll speed up for the rest of the games. Yeah, also, if you can take a second, if you're watching on Twitter, come over to YouTube, take a second. You can hit the button right at the top, open the YouTube app, subscribe to the channel, support the movement. Hit the like button as well, everyone. We have 150 people watching right now. Very, very grateful. Take a second to visit sportx.bet, the crypto sportsbook owned by its community, and help the video get 150 likes. Reasonable goal. Help the video get 150 likes, and that's that. Help as many people see the video as possible. With every like, more people can see the video, and maybe win some more tickets as well. Let's go. Let me pull up the odds on SportX, and hope the Kings go all out. 100%. I feel you, though. Projecting forward, bro. I feel you. Let's get it. Hope the Kings go all out. Get stomped. Then get stomped. All right. We only have 3 games left. But, hey, there are 3 very interesting games. These are 3 very interesting games. The Houston Rockets and the San Antonio Spurs. Did something happen in the Rockets with their lineup? Is Christian Wood going to sit out mysteriously in this game? Because I like the Spurs at -4, everyone. I like them a lot. The line is getting away from us. I still like them at -5. I'll tell you why. This pick is going to be a public pick, and I'm just going to have to ride it. Look, the Spurs were really mad when they lost at home to the Rockets about 2 weeks ago, and they were severely undermanned. There was no Keldon Johnson was in his first game, in his rust game after an injury. He had an inefficient game, even though he dropped, I believe, 18 points in that game. It was pretty inefficient. He was turning the ball over. The defense was not there for Keldon that night. Doug McDermott was also not there. Derek White was also not there. Okay, if you're wondering why the Rockets are underdogs by this many points at home, I'm taking the Spurs tonight just partially because of organizational distrust in the Rockets. I said the Rockets right. I'm taking the Spurs tonight because of organizational distrust for me for the Rockets. I put them in the same boat as the Magic, a couple of other teams that I just don't think want to win. The Magic, I said the other day against the Bulls with the short line, undermanned Bulls, that was their only chance to get a win for a while until they meet the Rockets in a couple of weeks. For this particular game, though, a small bet for me on the spread. I got it at -4, everyone. I didn't know this one was moving like this. -5.5 right now. Keep an eye on whether or not someone sits out in this game, but I think the Spurs are going to have a better performance. This is a team that they're in that middle of the pack purgatory. Middle of the pack. They're not bad enough to get a top pick, but they're not good enough to make any noise in the playoffs, the Spurs, when fully healthy. They still have the coaching edge in this one, and I won't be surprised if the Rockets compete early in this game and fade off towards the end. To me, the line is a bit suspicious. Might be a little bit of bait for the Rockets, but I think the Spurs are going to somehow cover this game. I'm interested to hear what everyone has to say about that in the chat now. Let me see. You say they're going to lose tonight? Yeah, this is a scary, scary, scary game. And it's not one of my most confident bets, but I placed a small bet on the Spurs. I did it. Why was it low at the beginning? I'm not sure. It was -3 last night. It was -3. Like, I like the Spurs here. I like the Spurs. No play on the total. I just don't understand. They're desperate for a win. There are many, many factors in this game, everyone. I just can't put a dollar on these Rockets right now. And it's crazy, though. If you guys remember, we were on the Rockets that day against the Spurs as a lean, though. As a lean. But it was partially because of the health. Now, Derek White, man, he's a tenacious defender. Keldon Johnson was pretty rusty that night. Doug McDermott provides a decent three-point punch. All of them have been in the league for a couple of years now. Keldon Johnson's the youngest of the three, but the other two are essentially vets now. Yeah, the Suns game was wild. The Suns game was wild last night. I enjoy watching Suns games, and it was crazy. It looks very, very suspicious. You guys see, I'm not betting Suns games blindly this year. It's more of a situational look. Last year, I really believed that the books undervalued the Suns because of their record for the previous 10 seasons. The Knicks and the Suns were heavily the Hawks even were heavily valued last year. Coming into this season, hey, the story is the narrative is already out there. It's cooked into the lines. %. Okay, yeah, moving on from this game. Let me just pull up the list and see if I did have props. Did I have nothing in this game? No, I'm not playing a prop in this game. I did have a lean towards Jayshawn Tate over 5.5 rebounds. I did not play it because I don't want to put any money on the Rockets. Okay, Warriors. This game for me, short and sweet. I like the Warriors in this game. I know the Mavericks have performed very, very well, but hey, the public has finally turned their back against the Warriors. The media seems to have turned their back against the Warriors. Klay Thompson right now is still a game-time decision. A lot going against these guys right now. I just want to say shout out to Draymond Green, everyone. It's evident now. Basketball fans already know the impact that Draymond Green has on the game of basketball. You see a guy like Draymond Green get max contracts, the casuals are scratching their heads. Why? Triple single. He owns 8 points a game. Duh. Draymond Green is a basketball genius. Look at the effect that he has had on Steph Curry, setting screens, getting the ball to him at the right spots. Steph Curry is still a transcendent talent, but just know that Draymond Green definitely deserves his respect. This guy, Steph Curry, they were talking Jordan talk when he broke the record. Look at the change in tone, the change in narrative. 1 for 13 from 3, everyone. I'm projecting a better game from Steph Curry tonight, but I haven't played it, partially because the market wasn't even available. They only have props available for the Mavs, but I like the Warriors to cover this spread tonight. I like the Warriors to cover this spread tonight somehow, some way. I'm just calling sus. I'm just calling sus on this one. No props available for the Warriors, but I won't be surprised if they activate Klay Thompson and they cover this game. They did lose to the Warriors, to the Mavs recently as well, and the Mavs had some fun that day. They had some fun that day. I think the Warriors can change the narrative today. Warriors -3.5 today. Not too many underdogs for me today, but it's just one of those days, everyone. It's just one of those days. Can't pick dogs every day. Can't pick dogs every day. When will Steph Curry turn the corner, everyone? When will he turn the corner? Let me see the chat. Oh, I said I had a lean towards Jayshawn Tate's over 5.5 rebounds, but I didn't play it. I'm only comfortable taking the Warriors. You guys see I haven't been betting them blindly. You know, there was a spot where I like the Warriors on paper. That's why my trust level in the Warriors is a bit low. I like them on paper against the Rockets. I didn't say it publicly, but I like them on paper against the Rockets, and they didn't cover. They even shit the bed after they lost to the Pacers. Like, that was their spot, right? It just showed me even more the value of Draymond. But I like them today. I like them today. The Mavs, though, they've been playing excellent defense. I still like maybe this game to go under. The Mavs have been building a defensive pedigree for their reputation. It's very positive. They bode well. It bodes well for them. Very scary game though. Okay, the Blazers and the T-Wolves as well. Everyone, this is a game where I was looking at the Blazers, their run of form recently, and I think it's time to cool these guys off. Basketball-wise, it's tough to bet against the T-Wolves with that big three intact. I like the T-Wolves to cover against these guys tonight. I like the T-Wolves to cover -3 against the Blazers. This is going to be difficult, but with the big three I'm calling them a big three of Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, and Anthony Edwards especially, who's looking like he's going to play tonight. I'm not betting against them when those three are healthy, unless it's just a super streak. These guys have playoff ambitions, and I think the Blazers have been overperforming just a bit. But I have to respect the Blazers because you look at the standings, they're in the play-in spot. With all the drama that the Blazers have been experiencing so far this season, with Damian Lillard in and out of the lineup, developing a younger Anthony Simons, CJ McCollum missing a lot of time, new head coach in Chauncey Billups, having an up and down season, mostly down season, especially on the road. They've somewhat turned their season around lately, and I do want to give some respect to the Blazers, but I think that tonight they will be outmatched by the T-Wolves tonight, by the T-Wolves. No play on the props for me. The big three, they paid us well on the weekend. We did very, very well with D'Angelo Russell, Towns, and Anthony Edwards. We cashed all three of their props in the game against the Brooklyn Nets. They played very, very well against the Nets. They had a distinct matchup edge. Yusuf Nurkic is going to be a bit of a problem. His game has gone up. His game he's playing very well since he's returned. Very well. But I like the T-Wolves to cover in this spot. I think this is going to be a very entertaining game. It's the last game of the day, but I'm going to place a bet on the T-Wolves. I just haven't placed it yet, so I'm going to share the official recap, and then I'm going to get out of here. We've been having a lot of fun. It's NBA betting today. We've been all over the place. I'm going to recap the picks right now. If you guys can, take a second, hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed the NFL title conference championship games this weekend as well. Take a second to visit sportx.bet, crypto sportsbook owned by its community. If you're into crypto, into NFTs, if you have a MetaMask, you can bet right from your MetaMask. Take a look at that as well. So, yeah, I'm going to list the picks for me today. The Nuggets and the Pistons. Under 217 is what I got it at. I still like the under 216 in that game. I feel very confidently about this pick. I think the Nuggets have a great chance to turn on their defensive switch tonight on the road. Another pick that's official, Nikola Jokic over 12.5 rebounds. Nikola Jokic over 12.5 rebounds. I am going with Pascal Siakam under 24.5 points. I am going with Al Horford over 3.5 assists. I'm going with the Warriors to cover tonight, -3. I'm going to go with the Spurs as well. I got that at -4. And I like the Raptors as well. The T-Wolves game, the line has not moved since last night. I'll tweet out my card. I'm just going to wait on the T-Wolves game, everyone. Just make sure no funny business happens in this game. But I do like the T-Wolves as well. A lot of favorites today. It's very, very difficult to pick this many favorites in one day. But yes, I do cap MLB. I do cap baseball. We'll see if we can have another run of it. If they even play baseball this season, it's going crazy. Yeah, the line shows that they're respecting the Blazers. Let's see how it goes. I appreciate everyone taking the time to watch the video as well. It means a lot. NBA betting today. But yeah, those are the picks. I'll list them out one more time. Nuggets, Pistons, under 217. Nikola Jokic, over 12.5 rebounds. Pascal Siakam, under 24.5 points. Al Horford, over 3.5 assists, +105. I'm taking the Warriors to cover. I'm taking the Spurs to cover. And I like the Raptors as well. The T-Wolves, I'm going to wait. You guys, I'll try to make a short video because my most confident plays. If I was to make a short video for today, the picks would have been the under in the Nuggets Pistons game and the over rebounds for Jokic. I really like those two plays. You guys can take that for what it's worth. It's My Guy Knows a Guy. Check me out on Twitter at My Guy Knows a Guy, talking about sports betting all the time. And visit sportx.bet, the crypto sportsbook owned by its community. You guys enjoy your day. Gonna get some lunch. Enjoy some lunch. Appreciate everyone.